Hello, we're measuring blades and hilts today. So, what is metal is considered hilt, except in cases of a polycarbonate suba. In that case, the suba is still also considered hilt. And in every other case, what is polycarbonate is considered blade. So, we'll take them by the numbers. This is a good one because it is an angled emitter. In the cases of an angled emitter, you measure the blade to its longest point, and you measure the hilt, the metal, to its longest point as well. So, for example, when we measure this one, I'm going to start my blade measurement in the deep part of the angled suba, and we're going to say that this blade measurement is exactly 36 inches. But then, to measure the hilt, we turn it over and we measure the metal from its longest point, and we know that this hilt is measured 14¼ inches. So, in the case of this one, which has a polycarbonate suba, but there is still metal up to here, this is the point of demarcation between hilt and blade. So, we're measuring this blade starting right there where the metal ends and the blade begins, and this blade measures 34½. And then when we measure the hilt on this one, we start at the same point, which is the end of the metal, and this hilt is 16 inches exactly. Now in the third case, which is a removable suba, so whether the suba is mounted flat-topped or whether the suba is mounted this direction, right? The top of the metal, this point here, is the hilt measurement. So, by the way, when you mount this blade, the suba cannot have exposed blade. Even in the case of an angled emitter, the suba has to be against the metal of the blade, right? It cannot be further up in order to get more hilt measurement. So, removable subas sit against the blade and begin measuring from the top of the suba, which is now considered hilt. So, the measurement on this one begins up here and is 13¼ inches, right? Same thing if the suba is upside down. Has to sit against the metal and still measures 13¼ inches. And then the blade measurement starts at the top of the suba, and this blade measures 29½. Now, when the gear inspector is going to measure your blade, they're also going to take it out and look at the end of it, and we'll use this tiny blade piece as an example. They're going to measure two things. One, they're going to measure that it is 1 inch in diameter, and that it is 1/8 inch in thickness. Thick wall blades or heavy grade blades are 1/8 inch thick, and all TSL blades are 1 inch diameter blades. We don't do 3/4 blades or 7/8 blades. They're all 1 inch. And finally, your gear inspector is going to have you fully seat the blade all the way into the emitter as far as it will go and light it up. This would not pass inspection because I don't have a battery in it and it doesn't light up. But your gear inspector will see this one and say this one is good because it is fully seated in the emitter as far as it will go, and it lights up and it meets the measurement criteria.